Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a lifelong resident of southwestern Pennsylvania and a gun owner myself, I know that despite what some of the people in this room may want you to believe, the overwhelming majority of American gun owners are hardworking, law-abiding citizens. These law-abiding citizens are simply looking to protect their families, hunt with their kids, or just put food on the table. That's why I'm strongly opposed to H.R. 8 and other legislation that does nothing to address the root causes of gun violence, like mental health, and instead focus on limiting law-abiding citizens' ability to exercise their Second Amendment rights. More gun bans are not going to solve this problem. The tragic shootings in both San Bernardino and Newtown occurred in states that already had an assault weapons ban in place. I was in high school when Columbine occurred. The Columbine High School shooting took place during the federal assault weapons ban. More gun bans are not going to solve this problem. Instead, I would urge my colleagues across the aisle to focus on enforcing the laws we already have on the books that keep guns out of the hands of criminals, gang members, and others who wish to do us harm. The Trump administration has already made this a top priority. In the first 9 months of 2017, federal prosecutions for possession of an illegal firearm increased by 15%, and the number of people charged with using a firearm in a crime also improved. Now compare that with the Obama administration, which in 2010 prosecuted only 44 of nearly 50,000 fugitives and felons who attempted to illegally purchase firearms. Think about that, only 44 out of 50,000. At the end of the day, the Constitution declares that gun ownership is not a privilege that is just for a select, reserved few, but a protected and fundamental freedom guaranteed for all law-abiding citizens. With that in mind, I'm very concerned about H.R. 8, which Democrats tout as a universal background checks bill, but it's actually the first step toward creating a national gun registry. I know my friends from across the aisle will point to the fact that language in the bill explicitly prohibits the creation of a national gun registry. However, the U.S. Department of Justice has said that universal background checks would only be enforceable if there is a mandatory national registration of firearms. So with that said, Professor Malcolm, do you think the American people should be concerned that H.R. 8 would ultimately lead to a national gun registry?
I think they do and should be concerned. Great Britain had a national registry for firearms, and at one point in 1999, they banned the personal possession of handguns, and because there was a registry, they were able to get all of the handguns that people owned, the law-abiding people who had actually registered them. Within 10 years, the crimes with handguns had actually doubled. So it really did not take the guns away from the people who were going to misuse it. All it did was it disarmed the law-abiding people.
So Professor Malcolm, in your opinion, is H.R. 8 an effective way to address gun violence?
I don't think so. This committee obviously wants to do something that's going to make a difference, and that law is not going to make a difference. It's just going to make it harder for people, criminalize people who had innocently let someone else use their gun or have to pay an extra fee in order to be able to get a gun legally transferred.
Thank you, Professor Malcolm. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back the balance of my time.